Hey, Summit Daily viewers, this is Antonio Olivero, Sports and Outdoors Editor with the Summit Daily, here today with Pat Goodnough, longtime Summit County local at the moment. He's up in Olney, Montana, repping the Armada gang. Tanner Hall's in the background. Hopefully the ski boss can join us and chat a little bit, maybe just in the background. But what we're chatting today is Eternal, a ski flick short film put out by Armada. You can search it on YouTube, the internet. It'll pop up, Eternal Tanner Hall. And the Armada crew, what's really cool about this for Summit County is a lot of the filming, whether it be big backcountry booters or kind of the street stuff, is in Summit County or in the general area. So Pat, we were chatting a little bit before about how cool it was for you and the Armada crew to do something in Summit County and do all these different kinds of free skiing in Summit County. Just describe, what it was like to do all this in Summit, what made it cool for you here in your home area, and why maybe this type of free skiing movie in Summit is special. What was special about this in Summit for you?
Definitely the motivating factor of having Tanner around, and then also just being in my own bed at night, having all my own stuff to just kind of feel grounded with and stay motivated. And just having the local spots kind of went a little bit crazy on the momentum side of things. Like once I started to get a little bit of momentum, I just started fiending for more shots. And this year was big for me. I was coming off of a double knee surgery. I had a ACL done on my left knee and a meniscus done on my right knee. And basically I was like, it's right now or never. So got super motivated. And Tanner was actually dealing with some stuff on the Freeride World Tour with just new contests and new formats and stuff. And we've always been super motivated when the cameras come on and filming wise, and to be able to both link back up in midwinter and just kind of feed off of each other, and know that both of us starting the filming for this, we didn't have very much at all in the bag. And we just really wanted to make sure we got it done this year for ourselves and our sponsors, and just the fans and the homies.
Awesome. So give the lowdown. What is Eternal as a ski film? And Tanner can feel free to chime in on this. But what is Eternal? What makes it special?
Yeah, so basically we just have the dream team. We got Corey Stanton, who's a great editor and a great filmer. He's out of New York City. He's worked with Armada in the years past, and as well as Brady Perrin. He's a super, super talented and creative person. So having those guys on the team was super awesome. And just building the building the repertoire and just kind of staying motivated with it and just getting it. Tanner, do you want to add anything to the definition of Eternal?
Well, I mean, just kind of the last 3 years we've had Triumph here after. In the meantime,
Check it out. Yeah. He needs a second here.
All right, So the last 3 years, we're starting with Triumph, and then we made Hereafter, and then In the Meantime. And then while we were filming for In the Meantime, I knew I was making a 2-year project with CP, and CP came up with a good name with Forever. And we wanted to kind of keep it, along the similar lines with a name like Forever, and not just go something totally different, And I just feel like with those two words have a deep meaning, you know what I mean? And with the type of motivation that it takes to kind of stay relevant, I can't even say stay at the top, because the top is so hard to, explain who's at the top right now. And I like to really look at a kid like Henrik Harlow right now, because he pretty much embodies he's like the first kid that like looked at myself and looked at, you know, Candide Tovex, looked at Mikhail Deschno, looked at a certain crew of individuals, June Olsen as well, Simon Dumont as well. And I think he just looked at every single one of his idols and took every piece of good from his idols. And then he really realized, like, I think he sat back and watched a lot of our faults and like watched, like, you know, maybe how partying could have taken over some people's lives, maybe how spending money could have taken over some people's lives. And I don't know how to even explain how this kid is. He's like an alien, you know, and I like to surround myself around people like that. And I know people like that are going to be in this game forever, and they're going to leave an eternal lasting mark on the industry. So those two names just kind of came up naturally, and they fit very well.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanner. So yeah, Henrik, I think so many people here in Summit County are familiar with him. He's competing at X Games. I remember last year in Aspen, you know, he mentioned some of the tricks he was doing in big air, gave you a shout out. I think you're still in Japan. So I think our Summit County viewers, you know, are familiar with a lot of these skiers, compete at Dew Tour and whatnot. Just in terms of your own skiing in this film, Tanner, then we'll go back over to Pat. But yeah, what are you proud of in terms of the kind of skiing you did in this film? Maybe some of the tricks you did, the spots you did. Yeah, what are you proud of? What looking back on this, did you really like about it?
Well, this year was really rad in the fact that I feel like as time goes on in the ski industry and your age goes up while other kids' ages go down, and it can be really funky to navigate yourself through an industry as you get older. And for me, what I took away from it is just being able to link up with a dude like Pat, where it's like we're not the youngest of dudes out there, but that doesn't mean we don't have the same amount of passion and drive as like a kid who's, you know, 13 years old, who's just figuring out this is what he wants to do for the rest of his life. So I look back and just being able to say, like, at 36 years old, to be able to make it through another season with like a lot of good ideas, you know. And lately, just with my skiing, I've been really, really enjoying the urban environment, like taking my skiing to the streets again, because I had taken a lot of years off. I didn't think my body was in any way, shape, or form to, you know, go take a beating in the streets like I used to. And the last 3 years in a row have just proved like myself and like how I felt about my skiing wrong. You know, if you want something bad enough, then you can get it. So I think what I was most proud of in just this whole of eternal and forever is just being able to say, like, I'm still here and I can still feel like I can still go out and produce good content and still, you know, make my skiing better. And as far as like trick wise, I think that double backflip off the big rainbow cement ledge in Burns Park in Denver was really good. That kind of like started the whole season off last year. And then there was a feature in Denver as well where I got the hit, and it was like a seven stairs, maybe like 8 feet of flat to like another 7 stairs, or maybe like 5 feet of flat. And it wasn't the biggest feature, but I never slid down stairs before. So I was kind of like, when I made it to the bottom of that, especially when I first started trying it, it didn't really seem like it was going to work, but then it worked. So it's like, that just makes me want to go try that even more, and maybe like slide down a set of stairs, slide down some flat, hopefully like slide up a snow jump and be able to jump onto a rail or something. I mean, anything like that, when something like that happens, it just opens your brain to like what's next on something like that, you know?
Awesome. So yeah, thanks for covering the street spots, Tanner. Going back over to Pat. Pat, if you wouldn't mind just breaking down for us the Summit County, both the street spots in Summit that are in this little short film. It's amazing what you guys packed into, frankly, 5 or 6 minutes. So it really is like a ski film that's 15, 20 minutes long, compact into 5, 6. But yeah, the street spots in Summit, the bigger backcountry stuff, whether it be in French Gulch or Vail Pass, give the viewers the lowdown. What will they see in this little short film? And what do you think, you know, just run through the Summit County stuff, both street and backcountry, and why that's cool.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. There was a super fun one that I went out and kind of made happen. And it was funny how over a little bit of few sessions, I built a road gap, and then I built another jump, and then the other jump was kind of too small just to be a single jump. And then we got a nice snow, and I ended up being able to link both of them together. And
That was a super, super fun one for me. And there was a pretty long down ledge that we have seen in years past. And it was probably under about 8 feet of snow. And we did like 3 days of 8-hour days digging, and we unburied it. And yeah, that was definitely a super rewarding shot. We both walked away from that one with 2 sweet shots. And then, yeah, Vail Pass was super, super cool. Unfortunately, everything got locked down, so we couldn't really show our full potential there. That was kind of towards the ending of the filming of the whole thing. But yeah, there's some awesome stuff out in Colorado, and some really sweet spots that you can go find. And yeah, I can't release where they're located at, but if you spend enough time out there, you can find them.
No, I mean, I don't want you to give up your honey holes, to use a fly fishing term, that our boy Trent Jones might use. Hopefully Trent might be able to join us here in the last couple minutes. If not, that's cool. I know he's super busy guiding even as we get here into winter. But yeah, I believe it was a triple backflip that Tanner did off one of the double jump setup, the 2 backcountry booters you guys built, I believe, in French Gulch. Obviously some of his other street skiing stuff is super impressive in this movie, as are stuff from the other skiers, but that triple backflip, I mean, just thoughts on that, Pat. It was so impressive watching it.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I got to say too, like, that's a serious trick. And I've definitely done a ton of doubles, and I thought I was going to like try one day, and I skied into the jump, and I was like, no, there's no way I'm doing that right now, right here. So just to see that live from a good friend and see the emotion come out of a sick trick landed like that it's amazing. It's totally just motivating, and yeah, it makes you want to just do it yourself, but also know your own limits.
Yeah. So in terms of the street skiing, I think what maybe might stand out the most to some Summit County people is the swing set rail, for lack of a better term. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I know Trent helped out with that. So if you wouldn't mind just describing how you and Trent, you 2 Summit County guys, helped with that build, that swing set. Where was it at, and what was that day like? You're on mute, Pat.
Yeah, that one was super fun to be able to revisit that one. Tanner shot it about 15 years ago and got like a Oakley ad or something sick on it, and just kind of like a staple in your head, like, oh damn, this is the rail. But yeah, that one was in Minturn actually, and awesome spot, really low bus factor. A lot of people back in there super excited when they, kind of see that kids out there skiing and stuff, and not trying to call the cops and ruin your day. But yeah, it was super cool to go back to that one. Trent definitely took a huge digger on it. I took a huge digger on it, and Tanner absolutely slayed it. He rodeoed onto it, and yeah, just stuff like that is so fun to go build the in run, make sure everything's right, test it, get your speed, and yeah, and then ultimately walk away if you're lucky with a shot. So super fun.
Awesome. So just a couple last questions for you. I do want to go back to the street skiing in Breck. Back in the day for snowboarders, we're talking early 90s, mid 90s, guys like, Dale Reberg and Nate Cole, some of those guys, the jib scene came out of Breck, and, when the terrain was flat on the mountain, they went into town and made the most of the streets in Breck. If you wouldn't mind describing, like, what's it like, describing a little bit more, you touched on a little bit earlier, but what's it like trying to find street spots in Breck. I guess what I'm saying is you don't necessarily think of it as like the street skiing destination, more of a tourist spot. But, I think it's really cool for our local viewers to see like a guy like Tanner Hall and you hitting the Breck streets for lack of for whatever it's worth, even though maybe it's not the best street skiing destination. Yeah. What was it like doing this street skiing in Breck? Why'd you guys want to do it?
Basically just why we wanted to do it was kind of get out of the backcountry and stay off the resort and just kind of use our creative outlets to find shots and find features. It's definitely, it is so much harder than what it looks like with everything involved. The police, trespassing, angry neighbors, people thinking you're vandalizing or stealing stuff or this and that. It's definitely a slightly mellow in Breck. The Breckenridge Police Department is amazing. I've definitely had a few talks with them, sometimes hidden stuff, and they're nothing short of amazing. And yeah, it's not like a big city there, so you kind of gotta look up higher and look on top of buildings and look here and look there and kind of just see it in different views. But yeah, I remember when I first moved out to Colorado in 2005, I found the ledge that Simon Dumont and Dave Crichton had slid, and it was almost like I was sitting there looking at the White House or something, like, no way, that's it right there. I saw that in a movie. Like, I got to slide that. And then like 2 months later, I tried to slide it, got like 3 feet from the end, and then the cops came. But there was no arrest made or anything like that. But yeah, just the the police are definitely tough to work around. And then you got the injuries as well. Street skiing is definitely one of the most demanding things you can do for skiing on your body. And just, yeah, concrete hurts.
Yeah. All right. So we'll wrap up here. One last question to each of you guys. Yeah, really, it's just a what's next question for you, Pat. I believe you're going to be up in Montana this winter, living with Tanner. Sounds like you got an awesome spot for backcountry access. So what are you and Tanner hoping to accomplish this winter? And then, yeah, if Tanner can chime in too, I'm just curious between what he was saying before, his emphasis and love for street skiing and maybe trying to do a little bit more of that, balancing that with the free ride world tour in the age of COVID. Just curious, what's next for him, this, to a degree, Michael Jordan like figure in free skiing. Just curious, like what still drives him and motivates him. Seems like he's kept up or rekindled the love for the sport. So yeah, what's next for you guys? What are you hoping to accomplish this winter, Pat? And then maybe hopefully we can throw it over to Tanner.
Yeah, definitely. This winter, I want to ski. I'm gonna ski the best I've ever skied. I'm got a few contests I want to enter, and mostly I just want to get a segment where I'm like 120% just satisfied with everything about it. Last year was one of the first winters where I was financially able to take 5 months off and make it happen. And yeah, it's definitely, it's so nice to just focus 100% on the filming and the skiing and your body and your fitness and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't see any slowing down on my part this year. I got a couple tricks in my head that I'm going to do for sure. And being in an area where it's not the same jump, it's not the same in run, where sometimes in Colorado it can get slightly repetitive like that. So that's going to be huge out here to be able to, just chart on uncharted territory and get out there and yeah, produce a bunch of content. And yeah, it's going to be a good year. We got some big plans for sure. I'll let Tanner fill you in on the latest plan that he has for the next 2 months. But yeah, we're going to kill it. So I'm stoked to get it going. And yeah, it's only up from here. So.
Awesome. Can we throw it over to Tanner, or is he still around?
One more question for you.
Shoot it.
Yeah. So before, I just thought it was really interesting. You mentioned street skiing, still loving that, wanting to do more of that. What's up next for you this winter in terms of trying to, I'd imagine, balance filming, street skiing, but also the Free Ride World Tour in the age of COVID? Yeah. What's next for you this winter? What are you hoping to do?
Um, First and foremost, I'm just hoping the world comes to its senses with this whole COVID skiing thing and realizes that we all have face masks on, gloves, everything. And yeah, hopefully the world can just have some common sense return to it and realize that, you know, skiing is a good thing and it's good to be outside, and there's no reason why we can't do two people a chairlift on a 6-pack or a quad pack. And there's no reason why we can't shut down the restaurants at a ski area and keep the skiing going so we can have our immune systems stay healthy through endorphins, through skiing. And then just by going skiing, you're making yourself healthy and you're making your brain realize, wow, I just had a great day. Social distancing on the hill, because nobody's like skiing right next to you trying to hawk a loogie on you. So yeah, that's number one, is just hopefully the world can come to some common sense on the ski thing and we can all be safe and we can all have a great winter. With that being said, Free Ride World Tour, we're just waiting on a word to hear what's going to happen, because first two stops, Japan and Canada, it's sounding like their borders won't be open by the time the contests come around, or at least Canada's definitely won't be. So that just kind of throws a wrench in the game, and they're obviously not going to try to throw an event in Kicking Horse if we can't get into Canada. So I think what's going to happen is maybe a 4 to 5 stop tour that'll start in February. That's just based in Europe alone. And I'm really not sure. I'm just waiting to hear a final word with all that stuff. And then as well, just making another film with CP, and Pat's here at the house. We're going to have Taylor Seaton and a whole bunch of other people involved, which will be really, really nice. And we're going to have a good story for the film and try to bring an awareness to how, like, in America, just like skiing is kind of being run by private corporations that, I don't know if like the interest has skiing at the heart of it anymore. I don't know. Because if you go to Europe and whatnot, you can really get a sense of like, wow, this is their culture. Like, this is like, you have no choice if you're going to be in Europe in some of these mountain villages to know about skiing and snow.
Sorry, viewers, as some of you might be aware, you've been living in this crazy COVID world with Zoom. If you don't upgrade your Zoom, it cuts you off at 30 minutes, and we don't want to cut off Tanner Hall, that's for sure. So we're going to throw it back to you, Tanner. I think you were saying and answering what's up next for you, that you really just want to cultivate more here in the United States, something similar to Europe in terms of the passion and love for skiing, as opposed to maybe the more corporate side of it. So yeah, take us from where you left off. Finish that thought.
Yeah, well, like where I was just saying, it's, just to kind of follow up, it was just how in Europe you can go over there and it's just a whole different scene on like how they go about skiing as a whole, skiing, snowboarding, the industry, everything, like how resorts really can cater to the athletes, how you can basically go do what you want, express your art out there. And if you duck a rope, you're not having ski patrol and police and lawyers and like going to court. And it just, I don't know, it just seems like it's starting to get split, where here in the States, like if something doesn't change, I mean, lift tickets alone are going to, like the ski bum is almost dead. And to me, that's a dangerous thing, because ski bums are, that's like, yeah, I am a ski bum. And it's just like, I live the culture and I eat, breathe, and sleep the culture. And if our culture gets erased because of money and how, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. America has like a weird vibe, I feel like, lately. And I hope as time goes on, stuff doesn't get more expensive and stuff doesn't get more out of reach for kids that don't have the privilege of getting out into the mountains, And as time goes on, that's something I do think about. And it's going to take a long time, but fuck, my dream would be to, figure out a way to get some inner city kids out of the city for, a week a winter, and just go give them like a biggest eye-opening experience they've ever probably seen. You know what I mean? Because the older you get, I mean, I'm starting to realize like what this sport can actually do for people, and like the look on kids' faces they get when they like learn a 360, or if they get to like just meet one of their heroes or something. And it's like Instagram has been around. Like I remember when I was young, I'd go to premieres, I'd get like Seth Morrison's autograph, I'd watch the movie, I'd get a raffle ticket. When they would throw out gear, I'd be running up to the front trying to like fight my way through to get gear and whatnot. And that was like the culture. Now it's like, it's kind of changing where all these edits are coming out on the internet. I mean, premieres are kind of like dying out now that COVID is doing what it's doing. It's like, man, I'm just scared for the future of like, of no matter what, the tricks are always going to get better. The skiing will get more aggressive, but that doesn't mean we have to change our culture. So as the older I get, I really want to make it a point to, you know, bring back the real true essence of skiing in a way. And I think that's what our plan is with this next film. And we have a perfect dude making it. The guy who made Forever, his name's Konstantin Papanikolaou. And the guy is like, he's a psychopath on how he goes about films. You know, he sits and reads Shakespeare screenplays a lot. You know, he reads like crazy philosopher books. You know, he's a whole different, he lives his life way different than a lot of us. But at the end of the day, he has that same common connection for the love of the mountains. And that's what brings us together in the wintertime. And he's really intricate about how he does this. So to be able to start with Forever, it's kind of like a new era of ski films with myself and Pat and CP and our little crew. And it's going to be really cool to be able to tell stories that really mean a lot to us, to you guys, the viewers, and hopefully you guys can take something out of it. And hopefully we can have a hand in changing and bringing stuff back. Maybe not all the way, because it never will go back to what it was. But that doesn't mean we can make it like something new with old values, you know?
Yeah, here, man. I think a lot of people here in Summit and in the ski industry in general are hear what you're saying, both in terms of the COVID stuff and the essence, the spirit, the ethos of skiing stuff. That quote about, you know, the ski bums dying. I think a lot of people here in Summit can relate to that and appreciate that and respect that. A lot of history here, and I know you and Pat have played a huge part in it. So Tanner, thanks so much. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to your next project. But again, for the viewers out there, check out Eternal. You know, I could say you could probably just Google it, Eternal Tanner Hall. Probably find it on YouTube. But check it out. Like I said, it's a 5-6 minute flick that feels like it's longer. So Tanner, I do want to give you the last word here. Feel free to give a shout out of where more specifically people can find the film. And yeah, just go ahead. You have the last word before we sign off.
Yeah, well, right on. Thanks for the opportunity to come and speak and say what we got to say. And just to everybody out there, yeah, definitely go check out Eternal. It's on YouTube right now under the Armada Skis channel. And yeah, go check it out. Get psyched for skiing. Winter's on its way. And I just had another 2-year film project drop as well. That's all over iTunes, Google Play. We're hoping it's going to go to Netflix, but I don't even know the process of that. So I've been trying to figure it out. And that's like the end goal. But if it doesn't happen with Forever, it's going to happen with this new one. So, yeah, check out the Instagrams, Tanner Hall 420. And that's pretty much it. I don't really use anything else. I'm not a TikToker. So, yeah, I kind of miss that whole thing. I don't like to just sit in house and dance and do. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm trying to figure out what TikTok still is. But that's about it. And yeah, man, like I said, it's hopefully me and Pat look for us in Colorado if it gets snow out there, because we have a soft spot in our heart for Colorado and always love getting out there and getting it done. So again, just thanks for the opportunity to say what up, and hopefully everybody's ready for winter.